It should be working. Microphone's plugged in. Okay, now we have sound. Okay. All right, so this was the end of the year show is now you hear me. Okay. So the first 7 minutes of this show have no volume. Well, people don't watch these on the replay anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of add a little bit of coloration to it. Just a little coloration, maybe another color. Huh. I don't really understand what. I think I don't know. Things malfunction. Look at that. We'll just do that. I am working on a random drawing. That's what we're doing. Something totally random. I put away my paints today because I'm probably not going to paint for a while. I'm kind of tired of painting. Yeah. I was thinking about making a party hat. How do you like the mirror? How do you like the mirror? As far as getting able to see in there. Maybe I can change the angle a little bit so I can see more of the person there. So if I go roll it out like, no, that's got too much. Maybe like that. And you got the camera set up and everything. Maybe like that. There. No, I don't know. We'll see. Now I can see me, but I don't need to see me. No, I don't need to see me, that's for certain. So let's just add a little bit of this bronze into the eyebrows. Kind of got that glazed over eye look or something like that. Can see me clearer. Yeah. Well, I can't see. You can't see me at all, actually. You can just see the. So if I go like that. Oh, it's not going to stand up. I probably should have worked this out before. Ah. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It'll work better for the other show. It's okay. I like the fact that you get to kind of double the image and it's kind of like an alien, huh? got some glasses on, special glasses. All right. I'll get the mirror worked out. I'll get the mirror worked out, but it's not today. Take me to your leader, it says. Take me to your leader. I'm not a bleeder. Give me a cream puff to eat. You've never seen an alien before. Yeah, well, you've never seen this one before. You've seen this one. Maybe it's not an alien. Maybe it's something else. Okay, well, what do we got going on here? Maybe it needs like a little mouth or something here. How about that? Another color. Maybe we'll go get... Yeah, okay, so it's colored pencil knife then. I was going to see about maybe making a party hat. I still might do that. It's 10 o'clock here. I'll probably stop around 11, maybe. Kind of maybe around 11, because then I can go, yeah. It's kind of like a club with a little mouth here. Kind of a little slit for a mouth. I like that. I like the add of the red in there. Maybe it's got some red eyes or something. Happy New Year. Well, it's not quite the New Year. It's still the end. It is still the end. Last 2 hours of 2025 here. It's sad because 2025 went by so fast. And 2025 was supposed to be the year to monetize this channel, but that didn't happen. But hell, 2025, I crossed over 1,000 subs. I mean, that's not bad. Yeah. Special thanks to Ramon for when he came on my Coloring the Tarot show last May, I think it was. That's when I popped over the 1,000 sub mark. Eddie from Ed, and Eddie. So it's like a guy with no neck or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it's like Ed, and Eddie. Is that what you said the guy's name is? Ed. Eddie. 10:04 p.m. 12:30 31. All right, here we go. Let's just do something else. Something new here. Do something new. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I want to do this. I want to draw. That's what we're going to do. It's a little bit pixelated. Oh, it's a cartoon. So it's 1080p. That's not bad. It's running it at 1080p. So let's just try something. Okay, I'm going to move this over here like that so I can see. And I am going to do the whole blind drawing thing. Welcome, Amelia. Welcome. So let's try this here. Do a backwards drawing. So I'm looking into the screen. So what we're doing here is I am doing this completely by you're looking into the mirror and got like these eggsy eyes. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna block it in this way. Block the colors in. Block the shape in, and then we'll just go color it. So, all right, so that's that. And when we finish this one, we'll go and do some poetry. If there's enough people who, I'm using the opposite hand, yeah. But it's doing things. We are kind of doing it. I like the perspectives here because what I like about doing this is that you get a different perspective than if you just try and do it the other way. All right, so let's go take it and look at it this way. Oh, that is so fascinating. Wow. Maybe he's got, these are glasses. So it has like a, that is so interesting. I can't, man, I am always, when I do this sort of a blind drawing thing, or and I do this, it is so surprising every time. Just never know how it's going to turn out. And sometimes it's crap, and other times it's just like this. It's like something amazing happens. And this is one of those times you get something amazing happen. I'm just going to give it like some brown hair, some brown tones into the hair. Hmm. If we get enough people, I can do poetry in the maybe AI. I haven't done AI poetry in a long time, or prompt chat chat in the chat prompt poetry. It's like some kind of a Simpson character or something like that. Maybe we'll go have some. Oh wait, maybe we'll make them kind of greeny because you've been out there, on your New Year's Eve and you're just boozing it up here. Old greeny here. Got a little bit green, little green around the gills there. Hmm. I'm gonna put that green in up here because it'll make that reddish color just a little bit browner. Hmm. I'm just kind of looking at this. This is so stunning. I can't really believe how stunning this is. So behind the glasses, it'll have a totally different color back in here. So expressive. Kind of like hulky, it's got a real an expressiveness to it. Hmm. Yeah, nothing exciting happening here. Except there's like a lot of people looking in. Or there was for just a second. Toes Baga 343046. Welcome. Welcome. Kind of a green man. It's the green man, the green dragon. Gotta chase that dragon. Chasing the green dragon, huh? I wonder what's happening out in the outside world. I didn't actually look into the regular news things, but I was. My books came in, which I had last Friday. I talked about my goals for 2026, and one of my goals is to read a book a month, and some of those books came in. Okay, so you got the mirror there. And what I like about using the mirror versus when I was using the tablet was that the lighting and everything is even, and so like sometimes you would get all blown out when you're looking at these different colors, and so maybe we're gonna come and have like a shirt here. Different colored here. Kind of like a shoulder sticking out there. Mm-hmm. The mirror is clear. Yeah, the mirror is clear. Maybe we'll take some yellow and put this down here on the neck. Kind of a bright yellow. Maybe we'll take this bright yellow and go over his skin. Mm-hmm. Some different colorations here. Oh, so cartoonish. I like this character a lot. Everything's fine as long as I don't bump that microphone. I'm going to put this color in here too, so it ties it all together. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a zombie-like character. Made myself a character. Yeah. Hmm. Wow. This is absolutely amazing. I just can't get over how amazing this thing has started to turn out. I mean, maybe I didn't color it right, but you know what? We're just, doesn't matter. We're just playing. This is a sketchbook. All right. I like that. I'm looking at it. It looks so cool. Like something off The Simpsons or something. A Simpson like character. Oh, so totally cool. I'm still so stunned. Can't can't get over that. It's just why is this shaking the whole microphone too? Can't have that. It's not connected. Why is it shaking? Oh, maybe I need to get this out of the way. Well, there went off another firework. Made myself a character. What is his name? All y'all out there in YouTube land, what is this guy's name? Freddy? Fred? Goldstone? It's the Hulk's brother? It's the Unincredible Hulk? Frankenstein's twin? The perfected Frankenstein? 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 Frankenstein. Here we go. Just like a little smirk. There we go. How about that? I think that's done. What do you think? Done? Looks done to me. Yeah, I think it is done. How about we do a little poetry? Is it time for poetry time? 35 minutes in. Almost 10:22 p.m. Pacific. It did come out so super cool. It's just plain water. All right. All right, we need some prompts then. Usually on Wednesday I do a writing group, but we better like give this a good old I'm going to use this one here. It is for we'll put it down here. 12, 31, 25, 10:23 p.m. All right. It's pretty close to the last one of the year. Okay. You matter. All right. So, some words. It was safe. You thought it was vodka. I don't drink. Jesus, I haven't had a drink in like 2 years. All right. You thought it was vodka. I thought it was cheer. I think we can use this booklet here. So you thought it was vodka. I thought it was cheer. But at the end of the year, it was clear. It was clear. It was clear. A modification. F-I-C-A-T-I-O. A modification of the weird way you look at me in the dark of the day. It's a way. It's a way of being whole with a W. It's a way of being whole. Actually, I like the H better. Whole. It's a way of being whole into yourself. You thought it was vodka, I thought it was cheer, but at the end of the year it was clear, a modification of the weird. Why you look at me in the dark of the day, it's a way of being whole, H-O-L-E, into yourself. That I like to put it there, to put it there in its place. You thought it was vodka, I thought it was cheer, but at the end of the year it was clear, a modification of the weird. Why you look at me in the dark of the day, it's a way of being whole into yourself that I like to put it there in its place. It's on display. It's on display for the world to see. Drink up, buddy. Drink up. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. That was dumb. Don't you think that was really dumb? But see, that was no chat GDP. That was just me writing this thing right now on monsters and phantoms. Monsters, phantoms, monsters, phantoms, breed, monsters, phantoms, breathe. Breathe. Let's see what Chat GDP will have to say. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna put this right over here. And all right, let's just try this. We'll just talk into it. Write me a poem in the style of Charles Bukowski meets Allen Ginsberg using these prompt words: monsters, phantoms, breathe. Can you see that girl? Hair wavy in the breeze, throwing eggs at the fuzz on the wall. Use this line too. It's safer that way. It's safer to play alone in the dark at the end of the year. Let's see what it comes up with. Here it is. The monsters show up late. They always do, hungover from other people's nightmares, leaning in doorways of mine, asking for a cigarette, a reason, a god. Phantoms breathe like they're surprised to still be here. Lungs of dust and unpaid rent exhaling decades. Can you see that girl over there? Hair wavy in the breeze, like she stole it from the ocean and never gave it back. She's throwing eggs at the fuzz on the wall, yellow moons bursting on blue uniforms, laughter cracking louder than sirens, a small rebellion with albumin and youth. The world tells her, behave, grow up, put the monsters in cages with labels, but the monsters breathe. They breathe with her, not against. Someone says it's safer that way. They always say that. It's safer to play alone in the dark at the end of the year with calendars bleed out and clocks get drunk. When everyone else is kissing resolutions they won't remember. Alone, you can hear the phantoms without translation scream. Alone, the girl keeps her aim true. Alone, the eggs flying like small prayers. Alone, they don't ask permission. Alone. This dark isn't empty, it's just honest. And the monsters, they're only dangerous if you stop breathing back. Okay, that was cool. But you know what? I think I need my poem hat on. It's time to put my poetry hat on. Okay, you can see that, my poetry hat? sitting here in a room full of light. Sitting here in a room full of light, afraid of the rays. All right, let's try another one. Write a poem using these lines. Sitting in a room full of light, wearing tin foil on the head. Art bell blares on the radio. UFOs flying overhead. They're listening. They listen to you in the silence on your phones. They listen. Can you hear the radio waves bouncing between your head, reflecting off glass, fogging up while you breathe in the conspiracy of the day? Let's try that. Let's see what it has to come up with. That was almost like a poem all on its own, but we'll see what it does. Sitting in a room full of light, wearing tin foil on the head, not for fashion, for shielding the soft machinery of doubt, the hums behind the eyes. Art bell blares on the radio, the late night preacher of static and stars, his voice crawling through AM snow, promising truth just beyond the hiss. UFOs flying overhead, or maybe planes, or maybe thoughts moving too fast to be named. It doesn't matter. They're listening. They're listening. They listen to you in the silence on their phones. They listen. They listen to you. Can you hear the radio waves bouncing between the heads? Thoughts ricocheting like loose change in a laundromat of skulls, reflecting off glass windows, watching back, fogging up breath, blooms, proof of life, against the cold transparency of things that pretend not to see you. While you breathe in, breathe out, take in the conspiracy of the day, fresh, warm, reusable, pressed mouth to mouth like communion, a rumor of lungs, a story of lives, as long as someone keeps listening. That's not bad. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just see if we could try another one. Some more random words. Maybe you'll just have it cleaned it up. We'll try it again. I got my thinking cap on. I've got my thinking cap on. I look into a mirror, fractured into a million pieces, a million fractures looking back. I am more, not less, when I stare into the fractals of time, space, bending around giant stars, black holes in my heart. Noise buzzes between the telescope and the radio. I hear a cry. It flies like a bird in the ear. Between my ears, there is a fantasy of another world, another place. Over the hill to grandmother's house, I ride a horse with Ichabod Crane, a head rolling down the hill, smiling. Let's see what it does. I mean, that was like a story all on its own, but we're gonna just see. Um, yeah, let's see what it does with it. I got my thinking cap on, creases full of static and wonder. I look into the mirror, fractured into a million pieces, a million fractures looking back, each a shared vision that survives something. I am more, not less, when I stare into the fractals. They don't reduce me, they multiply the argument of being alive. The fractals of time, space, bending around giant stars, light kneeling to gravity, black holes in my heart where love collapsed and never quite vanished. Noise buzzes between the telescope and the radio, that thin electric prayer between looking out and listening in, the universe clearing its throat. I hear a cry, it flies like a bird through the ear, wings brushing thought, a sound that refuses to land between my ears. There is a fantasy of another world, another place, not better, just stranger, where meaning doesn't have to justify itself. Over the hill to grandmother's house, I ride a horse with Ichabod Crane, the night full of branches and superstitions, a head rolling down the hill, smiles as if even terror knows how ridiculous it is to keep pretending we are whole when being broken is what lets the light in. Let's see, turn the original prompt in into a prose poem, into a prose poem. I got my thinking cap on, the kind you wear when you're not trying to solve anything, just survive the echo. I look into a mirror, fractured into a million pieces, a million fractures looking back, each one insisting it is me. Each one refusing to be the whole. I am more, not less, when I stare into the fractals, because multiplication feels closer to truth than unity ever did. Time and space bend like bad reception around giant stars, around black holes in my heart where gravity never learned my name and never let go. Noise buzzes between the telescope and the radio, that narrow corridor where science and superstition brush soldiers' shoulders and pretend not to notice. I hear a cry, it flies like a bird in the ear, feathers scrapping, thoughts never landing long enough to be understood. Between my ears, there is a fantasy of another world, another place just over the hill. Just over the hill to grandmother's house, where the memory smells like dust and safety lies. I ride a horse with Ichabod Crane through the dark hooves beating panic into the road. Ahead rolls down the hill behind us, smiling because even fear knows the joke. We keep writing, we keep looking, we keep listening, hoping the fragments will arrange themselves into something that looks back and says, yes, that counts. That was good. I like that. So that's good so far. What do you think? Do you have any prompts out there? Out there in YouTube land? In YouTube land? My head looks like it's round, like it's a round ball in here. Hmm. All right. Maybe it is like a round ball. Monsters breathe phantoms in the sea of tranquility. Monsters breathe phantoms in the sea of tranquility. Let's just do this. We gotta. Like that. Like that. Like that. There's that. How about that here? That's kind of cool. Huh. Looks reminds me of like a King of the Hill person or something. Here we go. We're doing this. We're doing it again. I'm going to make it like there's mirror glasses. It's got the sky reflecting off the lens. All right. Looks like I lost everybody with that poetry. You know, poetry truly does suck, you know. I know it does. I know I shouldn't do poetry because it sucks. All right, we got this, the bridge of the nose, and maybe we want to have a little darker color, maybe a darker, is that a brown? We'll run a darker blue to be the front edges of the glasses. Well, I'm thinking like one of those guys on like King of the Hill. This is what this has kind of reminded me of. What was that guy's name? I don't remember what that guy's name was. There's a guy that was just really kind of like this. I'm making a cop character. Is that what it is? Cop character? Okay, monsters, phantoms, breathe.
How do I turn the television off?
So it looks like a cop then, huh? With a bald head. My New Year's Eve party hat. Here we go. And kind of simple like that. Naya Rose, welcome back, Naya Rose. I got my party hat on, you can see. And how you doing here on this fine New Year's Eve? It's still New Year's Eve for me. Maybe for you it's New Year's Day, but it's 10:50 Pacific time. I'm going to add a little coloration here. All right, how about we do some? So Naya Rose, what color do you think the what color should I use up here? Okay, what color should for the skin? What color should it be? So what I have here is I have some. I don't want it to be blue because that's like the sky reflecting off. Maybe brown or maybe yellow, gold, yellow, bronze, maybe bronze. Yeah, let's just do that one, bronze. Antique gold. Maybe I got another one that's like similar to that. It's lighter, a lighter color. It's got like a tan. Here we go. This one here, copper. Okay, well I'll put some yellow into it. I gotta go do something. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I guess until I get the next order. Wait, it's like that. There's my party hat. Got to get the good party look. Kind of got a shadowy in here. That's the antique gold. That's not the copper. Get that copper in here. Hey, that's not. That don't look half bad. Hmm. Mhm. Monsters, phantoms, breathe in and out. Can't you see in the wind? They tell me. Well, you hurt yourself. That's why you're typing slow. Okay. Sorry that you fell and hurt yourself. That sucks. Let's go out of here and go back into here. All right, we got there. That looks pretty cool, don't you think? Got the mirror glasses on. And then maybe we'll go in with some yellow for um, some yellow. Yeah. All right, so I've been on 1 hour. 1 hour and 9 minutes. The first 7 minutes, the sound wasn't working for some damn reason or another. Maybe we'll just put this yellow on the nose. It's like add the yellow in. Happy New Year to you. It's not quite the New Year here yet, but it is the New Year for Maria and those on Central and on the East Coast. It was like really sucking because earlier I was watching this television series, and just as the time struck midnight on the East Coast, it went from being a free program to a pay program. That was like sucked. It was like one of my mother's favorite shows to watch, Northern Exposure. His face almost looks like a peanut. Got a little sunlight glinting off the skin. Blue sky and sunlight. Poetic Tears, welcome. Poetic Tears, welcome. If you want to put some prompt words in the chat, I will spin a poem for you guys. Then we'll kind of have to call it a night here. Before I get into trouble and all. That sucks. That sucks. I know it sucks. The poem sounded like a frog trapped in an elevator. I want something tasty to eat, but it's gonna just jack my blood sugar up. Can't have anything else to eat today. I'm doing like a test. I don't know. I think I might have crossed into diabetes, but I probably shouldn't talk about that. Maybe I can correct it if I change my evil ways. Monsters and phantoms breathe. Gaseous wind in the air, breaking like waves on the beach. I need to eat, huh? Well, I had a bunch to eat already. I had a bunch to eat. I want some candy is what I want. I want a bunch of sugar. How about that? How's that look? I like it actually. Maybe it's like a Terminator type of guy. Got the Terminator. It's the Shermanator. You remember that movie? American Pie? Someday I'll be back to help some pretty lady. Well, I don't need to eat. I can. Here we go. All right. That's what we got. The party guy. Happy New Year to you. It's 11:02 p.m. Peanut Head. Mr. Peanut Head. That's what his name is. Mr. Peanut Head. Mr. Peanut Head. Peanut, 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 peanut head. Peanut, 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 peanut head. 12, 31, 25, 11, 03 p.m. Mr. Peanut Head, what do you hear? Sleepy Joe eats the cove. Mr. Peanut Head. So let's do a recap of what we did here. We did this one first. Eddie, followed by the Green Phantom, and then looks like I skipped a bunch of pages. You thought it was Mr. Peanut Head. Let's just write about Mr. Peanut Head. Mr. Peanut Head. Sleepy. Mr. Peanut Head. Let's go. Let's give it a little sharpen here. Sharpen this thing up just a tad bit. Mr. Peanut Head sleeps. Sleeps. His head. His head beeps, sleeps, beeps, and keeps. His head beeps, nodding, it keeps. His head beeps, it keeps. Keeps bobbing. Bobbing, bobbling, bobbling around, bobbling, shaking, shaking to the sound of, to the sound bound to a ball. Mr. Peanut Head sleeps, his head beeps, it keeps bobbling, bobbing, bobbling, shaking to the sound bound to a ball. Yarn, yarn, yarning, yarn, yearning, yarn, yearning, yarn, yearning, to wind, itself into twines, too soft to ball, too soft to ball. Yarn yearning to wind itself into twines, too soft to ball. It falls. It falls. Rain drops in ribbons. Sewn. S-E-W-E-N. How do you spell sewn? Sewn. How do you spell sewn? Like you're sewing. Ribbons sewn. S-W-O-W-N. That's not how you spell it. Sewn into quilts, to keep, into quilts, into that quilt on the bed, into a quilt on the bed. Let's see if into a quilt sewn, S-O-W-N. Oh, that's not swown, it's S-O-W-N. There we go. It falls, raindrops in ribbons sewn into quilts on the bed. Okay, let's see if the ChatGPT will give me something. Write a prose poem called Mr. Peanut Head. Mr. Peanut Head sleeps, his head beeps, it keeps bobbing, bobbling, shaking to the sound, bound to a ball. Yarn yearning to wind itself into twines, too soft to ball. It falls, rain drops in ribbons sewn into a quilt on the bed. Let's see what it comes up with. Mr. Peanut Head. Mr. Penis Head sleeps. His head beeps, a small electronic chirp leaking out of dreams like a smoke alarm for the soul. It keeps bobbing, bobbling, shaking to the sound, bound to a ball. Some gravity-fed rhythm rolling inside him, knocking politely, never stopping. The room listens, the walls don't intervene. Yarn yearns to wind itself into twines, too soft to ball, too unsure to become anything useful. It falls, instead of slipping off the edge of intention, pulling on the floor like a thought abandoned halfway through a sentence. Mr. Peanut Head doesn't wake. He never does when meaning is involved. Rain drops in ribbons sewn into a quilt on the bed. Each stitch a quiet impact, each line a record of time, choosing softness over force. The quilt grows heavier, warmer, stitched with weather and sleep. Minister Peanut Head breathes beneath it, head still beeping, still bobbling, as if dreaming is a job that requires motion, as if rest is something you have to keep working at. All right, folks. This is the end. Here's Mr. Peanut Head. And this is the end of the show. It's 34 minutes away from midnight on 12/31/2025, and this is the end till tomorrow, where I will be back at 4 p.m. Pacific with Jeff Tarot Ask Backwards, and we have another conversation planned for all you all, providing you're not too hungover to listen. All right, that's it for today, and I will be back with something different tomorrow. Bye bye. And thank you, Maria, and everyone else, Drum Gold, Poetic Tears, and all the rest for being here with me for a few minutes tonight. Good night.